Hi Dolly friends, welcome back to my channel, Marilyn's Dollyland. I'm Marilyn, and guys, again, I'm trying to stay out of the camera as much as I can. It might be hard though, the way my setup is. So I have some Happy Meal. One is a dolly and one is something else. So I'm going to start with this one first. I recently reconnect. Being that in the last 4 years I've been on social media, trying to cut this carefully. I don't want to cut the gift. So, being on social media gave me the opportunity to reconnect with some older friends. And I recently reconnected with my friend Debbie. She was my bestie in my 20s. Had a great time with her, and I always admired her, and I still do, and I'm happy her and I are friends again because we reconnected. Sometimes you just lose touch with people, and life happens. And and her and I have something in common. Now, I always say on my videos, guys, I am old school. I'm mostly old school. Like, I've only started modernizing in some areas, in the last 4 years. I really have, but in a lot of other areas, I'm just old school. I am who I am. So, and I like that she also changes her curtains once every season, and even at Christmas. And my grandmother and grandpa raised me. You know what I mean, guys? Like, they were born in 1911 and 19 like 15 and all that stuff. So I like doing that. And she sent me a picture in her living room. She got from Timu. This is from Timu, okay? And these pastel rainbow curtains, and I love them, and they're a good material. And she gave me the 4 panels I need because I'm going to hang them longitude in my living room. You can use these for any season. I'm either going to use them for the fall or it's going to be the winter. It might be the winter, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put them up, like near future. But isn't $10 for 4 panels? Look at these gorgeous, fun. I mean, I love rainbow, and I want a fun house. Okay, I don't want to. So I'm remodeling. I'm DIYing. It's gonna take me a little longer than I like, but it is what it is. But at least I have it going on. It's happening. I'm in the process. I've been doing it, but I have my spine issue, and I can't do it as fast as I would like. I can do everything and anything a regular person does, but some things I have to physically do it in a different way. And it's not, might be a little bit slower. It's not a bad thing. Why? Because in the name of Jesus, thank you, Jesus, I'm walking. I have a bad situation, and I work with it. I've been working with it as positively as possible, and I'm proud of myself for that. And yeah, this is just the other 4 panels. I'm not going to open that part right now, but look, at least I'm really just being positive. And in the last year and a half, here's a reason why I didn't. Here's one reason why. There's a whole other reason, but that's a whole other video, a whole other chat. So I haven't done in the last year and a half a lot of videos, and I regret that I didn't. But I was really torn apart, okay, emotionally. So I had, since, I'll say, since December of 2023. I had like 7, 8 people, because, I'm on social media, from my past reconnect with me. And I'm happy they all did. I'm really happy about that because it gave me some closure with some of them. Now, like my friend Debbie and some others that reconnected with me, I'm really, really happy we're friends again. It's nice to have people, in your life. And I'm a people person, but, I have my spine issue. And some of the people that reconnected with me, you know, I think they're still upset. You know what it is? They remember me when I was young. I wore platform high heels. Look, guys, been there, done it. Been at the club, had my big, everything when I was younger, like you're supposed to. Like I did it all. So it's not me that was ever upset. Not with, because not all of the people I had a good reconnection with out of the 8. A few of them, yes, I did, and I'm really happy about that. So that's the positive, good news. The bad news is some of them I didn't. And it's not that they didn't try. They did try. Some of them, came onto my channel, watched a video or whatever, supported me. Some, but a few of them, I didn't have a great reconnection with. And it was a very rough emotional year and a half for me with this area of life. There's a whole other reason, but again, that's a whole other video. But guys, I'm folding them as best as I can right now. I'm gonna wash and iron them before I hang them up. So I want to get to the doll. I'm sorry, guys, but I did want to come on and have this chat, and that's why I didn't do all these videos and I fell behind. That's one of the reasons, and I feel upset about it, but it was such an emotional time because a lot of my past came up. I don't regret nothing that I did or nothing that happened in my past. Because even in my past, when I was young, I mean, I was raising kids. I was a single mom. That was rough. I did everything you're supposed to do when you're young, and I don't feel I missed out on life. So God and Jesus Christ, they blessed me with this. They really did. I didn't miss out on nothing. But you know what? I'm not old, but I'm not young either no more. I'm middle-aged. I'm a middle-aged lady, okay? And I have my spinal injury, and my life is mainly at home. And it's with my dolls and my dolly friends, and, on a daily basis. I mean, I have my other friend, but it's just that, I'm so sad that some of them, they're upset. I'm not upset, but they're upset that I'm not the young girl that can run out and go out to Olive Garden because I got a little bit of extra money to pull out of my pocket. I don't have that no more. And I remember I had a girlfriend like 10, 15 years ago. Her and I separated in the early pandemic, because we were going through our own issues. It just didn't work out, But she was like, well, why can't you come and have, I don't know, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts coffee? You know what, guys? I'm old school. I feel my coffee I make at home is a heck of a lot tastier and better than, Starbucks. That's like, it was like $3, probably $4 back then. Who knows what that cup today is, or, I can make my own latte. I want a latte, an iced want a hot one. I just feel like, some of my stuff at home is better. And, some of them didn't like the idea that, well, they could come over to my place. We can have, lunch or dinner here, whether they pick it up and I chip in, which I don't always have money to do, or I make a little something and they bring a little dish or something. And some of them are not into that. They still want to go out, they still want to club, which I'm not against. I don't care how anybody lives. I don't care how other people live. Okay? Um, you know, it's their, I don't care about what other people do. It's their business. But I didn't like that, it made me feel bad that I can't do that. Money's tight. I have a spine injury and that makes money tight. I really am more homebound. I mean, I get out at least twice a week, guys. At least that. I mean, sometimes it's once, but I try at least twice. And, it's not always for fun. Like, I'll go run an errand, food shopping, get the toiletries, run to Dollar Tree. I even bring you guys along with that sometimes. Now, with this doll, I don't know who gave her to me. I have no idea, guys, who gave her to me. And it's either my aunt, and this doll, I got her last September. And she's been sitting here because I've been going through a lot, and a lot of it's cleared up now, but she's from last September. It could have been my aunt, or it might be, I'm going blank, guys. It might be from someone in the doll community. I'm not going to say her name because I'm not sure who gave me this doll right now. And if somebody did, please let me know in the comments. I'm not sure. I'll find out, but I apologize. I'm not sure. But this was gifted to me, this doll, from last September. So, it made me feel bad that, but why should I feel bad when I'm content in the present time? Why should I feel bad? They're upset. I can't always go out. I'm not that young going out gal no more. Been there, done that, can't afford it, and I like a lot of my stuff that I make at home. And it's not that I don't try to work things out with people. I try to work things out. And I'm sorry I had to tell some of them. And one was even a relative, but that's another video. Well, I'll get to it. It was more than one relative. And I'm not bad mouthing no one in my personal life. I basically said to some of them, the ones that it did not go well with, not all of them I said this to, okay, but I said, it's not that I don't love you. I do love you as my friend and all, but, this is why I feel we separated 15, 20, 10, whatever years ago, long ago. And a lot of it, again, had to do with my spine because some of the people in my past don't like that I have a different lifestyle today and that my life is more at home. You want to have lunch with me? You know what? Most of the times, I have to do it here in my home. And I already mentioned the two ways I can do it. Same with dinner. Sometimes I can go out because sometimes I'll have the few extra dollars for apple tree or, whatever it is. You know what I mean? These places and, but a lot of times I'm not going to waste my money on it. That I don't really have. And, I'm sorry. I have a situation. It's, I was told in the past I was negative. I wasn't negative. I was being honest. Just like I am right now. I keep it real and I'm honest. And if I can't do something or I have to change something, I will tell people about it, and I appreciate the people, my personal life, that work with me when I do that. And it's not that I want to be treated special or be pitied. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay? No. I have a friggin' real bad situation that I work very positive with. Either people can work with me or they can't. And thank God for the doll community, and thank God for the good, happy reconnections I've had, like with my friend Debbie. That was a good, wonderful connection I'm happy about. But some of them were not good, and a lot of old, bad, negative stuff from the past that happened between us came up, and it was more than one person. And I'm glad that some of them I said, I do love you, but I'm sorry we lost our connection long ago, because we did, and they know it. And I'm sorry we did. And I thank look, I thank people for trying to reconnect with me, but some of them it went really south and failed, and others went very well. And so it was a very emotional time for me, going through kind of like reliving the past but making closure. And I hope they have peace and closure with me. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. I just don't. I can't do that, but it's not my nature. Okay, this doll was from my aunt. It's definitely from my aunt. Okay, she's from eBay. So my aunt got her off of eBay. Oh, okay, this is awesome. Oh my God. She got me. This is Hungry Happy Baby Alive. I wanted her so bad. So I can, I'll figure out how to get I have Baby Alive food. You know, you know what? I'm good. I might have to find her bottle and her spoon, and I might not. Because sometimes Baby Alive will take another Baby Alive that's similarly robotic, their bottle, sometimes not. But you know what? A bottle and a spoon, if I have to, I may not. But you know what? She's in good condition. She's pretty clean. I do have to wash her up. Her face. I have to wash her up. I'm gonna have to wash her up, and I'm not gonna. I can't put her in a full bathtub. I have to like what they call a sponge bath, but I'll take like a very gentle cloth. Wash her up a little bit. I have to fix her hair, but she's very hard to find. 2, 3 years ago, she was everywhere. Now she's very hard to find. Happy, hungry baby, and I wanted the blonde one, and yeah, so, but she's in great condition. I'm not sure if she works. Let's try. She might need batteries. I didn't know what kind of doll she was. Oh, she works. She just said, "Mama." Let's see. I might have to change her batteries up, but oh, she talked again. Hello, beautiful baby girl. Welcome home. What can I name her? Oh my goodness, we need a name. I have to think of a name. Guys, please help me in the comments. What should I name her? I'm not even sure. I didn't even think about a name. But she works perfect. Oh, Mama, I love you. Yeah, I have to think of a good name for her now. But yeah, she's and she did come. Her last owner did put her in this pretty dress. She's pretty. It's clean. Um, she's pretty clean. It just like I just gotta freshen her up a bit. She's really in a good shape. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think of a name. You know what? I think I want to name her Aubrey. I have an Audrey, but I want an Aubrey. Aubrey. How about I can name her. Oh, what can now I'm thinking of a middle name, but I think I would like the name Aubrey for her. She just feels like an Aubrey. Or I can name her Rainbow. What about Rainbow? So what do you guys like better, Rainbow or Aubrey? Or should I name her Rainbow Aubrey or Aubrey Rainbow? Or if you think there's another name that may suit her. So let me know. But here she is, and she's from my aunt. So thank you. And she says, bye-bye, and God bless you. We'll see you in our next video. So thank you for listening, guys, to my story. For those of you that made it to the end, it was just a very emotional year going through that, because some of it was not great, some of it was beautiful, but I'm glad that 7, 8 people reconnected with me, and I'm sorry for me and them. I'm sorry, some of them it was not a good thing, it ended up feeling, but others it worked out great. And it's nice to keep in touch with people, even if you can't hang all the time like you did back in the day with them. Life changes. Look, we gracefully get older gracefully. I like being older. I like being at home. I'm okay with it. I'm sorry that some people from my past are still not cool with that. But look, either I don't have the money or I don't feel good, or both. If I have money and my back is a bad back day, like yesterday, I couldn't do nothing. I just couldn't do anything yesterday. I was able to wash up, feed myself, feed my cats, brush my hair, brush my teeth. I was able to do like that, make meals, and that was it. It was a bad day yesterday, and I made easy meals, nothing hard. That was my day. Today's a better day. Every day I know how my day is, when it's going to be when I wake up, because do I have pain? Is it a lot? I know my pain levels, and I work the best I can, and I'm sorry that there's some that couldn't. But you know what? Today I do have a lot of beautiful people in my life, and I love the doll community and all my beautiful dolly friends, and I love everyone. I love even the people that I didn't have a good reconnection with from my past. I thank them for trying, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad I tried, but some of it's not going to work again. Sometimes you have to move on. Sometimes you have to let go, let God, and move on, because sometimes we're on the same road in life, and then other times we separate. Sometimes we come back, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we stay together, sometimes the connection is gone. It happens. But, I'm sorry that, some people can't accept my situation, or they don't dig my lifestyle. Oh, why would she want that? Well, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. So what I do have a choice with is, God says we can make life positive, or we can make life real bad and negative. I try to keep it on the up and up as best as I can, for my own self and well-being, and for people that are in my life. And I try my best. But yeah, it was a very tough emotional year. And so, I apologize, but that's what happened. And that's, something for whatever reason, God wanted me to go through that. Because it gave me peace and closure with, all 7 and 8 of these folks. It did. Even the ones I'm happy talking to with right now. So thank you guys, and God bless you again. Bye bye.